Oh man, well thank you for joining us in the world famous CD 92.9 Big Room.
Yeah, happy to be here. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. It's a beautiful, kind of warm day here in Ohio.
Nice.
So no complaints.
Good.
Well, thanks a ton for joining us. You have a new single out, Happy Endings.
That's right.
Featuring Iann Dior and UPSAHL out on the great Warner Records. I have to ask, so Grayson has this ending question, and I've never done a virtual interview like this before. Usually I do the live ones because I'm old and I can't really set this stuff up. But Grayson loves to ask this question. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses? I don't remember it, but basically my question here is Iann Dior
or 100 horse-sized ducks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So initially I was going to ask, would you want to fight 100 UPSAHL-sized Iann Diors or one Iann Dior-sized UPSAHL?
I think they're about the same size, and they're equally as intimidating. They're great. We've really had a great time, you know, both making the song and like promoting it and doing stuff around it together. And we just shot this thing for there's a TV special that's coming out on it'll be on a bunch of different like syndicated channels. I think it's being put together by Viacom, but it'll also be on their Facebook page. It's called See Us Unite, and it's for Asian Heritage Month. So that's, you know, being half Japanese, they asked me to perform, and brought those guys along with me, and we just have a good time together. It's just a lot of fun.
Nice. How'd you hook up with those two?
Well, the story with Taylor, with UPSAHL in particular, was really interesting. It was just a weird coincidence because I had a day, like a writing day scheduled with Sam Ronson and Pete Nappy, and they're part of a group called Ocean Park Standoff, and they were just like, you know, Sam's a friend, and we had just intended to write together. And then that week, a guy from like basically my publishing company said, "Hey, you know this girl UPSAHL? She's you know, really talented, and I just think you guys would vibe." And then I kind of was like, yeah, and I didn't really follow through on it. And then Sam, you know, hit me up about the session we were already scheduled to do, and she's like, "Hey, do you mind if we invite this girl UPSAHL? Like, I think you might like her, and you guys might vibe." So I was like, okay, you know, it's like two different unrelated people coming at me about the same person. This is probably a good idea. And they were right. Like we did hit it off, and we've you know, wrote a great song, did it all via Zoom, which is weird. Hadn't done that before, you know, this year.
Yeah, I have to imagine that, like, I have to imagine that creative folks have had to sort of adapt, you know, at this point, as they always do. But so I'd read a piece in Kerrang where you were talking about you had found some degree of inspiration during the quarantine through Twitch streaming.
Yeah, so I mean, some of the folks who are here watching right now are from the Twitch channel and the Twitch community. We basically, like, I started it just like to create some kind of like repetition and normalcy, to like do something every day that was kind of like, I got on a long habit of doing 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon. And right now I'm doing a little less than that. I eased back a little bit, but I mean, initially it was like just to create this like regular thing that I would do that would say, like, it would delineate like, this is a weekday and now
Sure.
is a weekend, right? And also be creative and be out there with fans and stuff. And it's, you know, it's been really fun. It's on twitch.tv/official Mike Shinoda. And I've been, you know, making music from scratch. I generally make something from scratch every day. So sometimes that's a song, sometimes that's you know, some drawings and some art. And I've also done this campaign where I've produced songs by fans. So they'll submit like a vocal, and I'll basically take that vocal and make a song around it.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's, you know, I feel like that's a thing that, you know, maybe pre-COVID we might not have had the opportunity to do, or may not have had the thought or the time, you know, but that's such a cool way to connect with fans. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun.
So, in addition to music, you'd mentioned, you know, your drawings, and my program director, Laura Lee, and I today got to looking at some of the archived videos of you drawing, and honestly, I got really into that. Like,
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, well, it's so fun to me to watch anybody create something. It gives you a little window on their process, and just seeing, just getting to watch you draw, I found very inspiring. So. You do. I
did go. That was actually my original. Like, that was gonna be my job. I grew up I grew up drawing and painting, and I went to school to college for illustration at a school called Art Center College of Design, which is it's a pretty tough program to get into, and it's a pretty tough program once you get there. So, I was, well prepared to have a career in illustration and graphics. Until the band took off.
Oh, I did not know that. So, I mean, you're a jack of all trades, singer, songwriter, musician, visual artist. Do you have a favorite discipline? Is there one that you?
I mean, like writing. Yeah, writing and producing is probably number one, and I think most of the fans who know me know that just making stuff is kind of one thing bleeds into another, so and there have been Linkin Park records that the art kind of influenced the music, and there have been, I had a solo record called Fort Minor where I painted a series of 10 paintings that I did those kind of while I was doing the music. And it's kind of similar actually with my solo record, Post Traumatic. So there's been the kind of this through line of painting and drawing with the creation of the album.
That's so rad.
The cover for Happy Endings is actually a collab between me and an artist named Kane Kaser. We made that image. He really did the foundation of it, and I got to add on top of his thing.
Nice. Well, that's just so cool to me that, the way that, one piece of art can inspire another, and especially if you're able to have your hands in all these processes, and these are things that you're comfortable with doing or you're good at doing. That's just rad to me, just to be able to get that kind of insight into an artist, because I think that we all sort of want to feel that connection. All right, well, here's a question then. If, growing up, if you could have had a similar opportunity, in the 80s and 90s, whatever, to interact with an artist that's a favorite of yours, who would it be?
Oh, man. I got a chance to do some of that. I think I checked some of those off the bucket list in a sense, doing the album with Jay-Z, doing the Grammy performance with Paul McCartney. We did a remix for a song. We had a song off of a song called Wretches and Kings, which was off of our fourth album, 1,000 Suns. And I got Chuck D from Public Enemy on that, which was a huge one for me.
Yeah.
And toured with Metallica. So many great, so many of my favorite artists of all time we've gotten the chance to do things with.
That's amazing. Anybody still on your list?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes there are artists that I really, really enjoy listening to, and I'm a fan of a lot of their stuff, but I feel like everybody always is asks about doing a collab with somebody, or writing with somebody, or making a song with somebody, and I feel like by saying it, the internet puts too much pressure on that to happen.
Fair. That's
you know what I'm saying?
Fair.
If I say somebody's name right now, the next thing is people going at that person, or talking about it on Twitter and whatever. And to me, that's just kind of it's cool that the fans get so hyped up about it, but it's also puts me and the other artist in a weird position.
I can completely understand that. That makes perfect sense. So, you know, you have this new single out. Are you working on a new record?
No, I'm just kind of like working on random things. I've got a bunch of different, and it's really like ranges really widely from like just little musical ideas that I've got for like myself to working with other people. You know, with things opening back up, I'm starting to schedule some sessions with other artists again, which is really nice.
Nice.
I haven't done that in like over a year. And then other than like some Zoom stuff, but like in-person stuff I haven't really done. You know, a lot of like weird random things. Got into some NFT stuff, got into this is actually pretty cool that I don't think many people have heard about, but we kept it pretty like low key. But we kind of soft launched a music AI project that I've been working on and advising. I'm not, you know, it's not my project. It's a company called Authentic Artists, and the channel. There's actually a channel on Twitch, and you can find them on Instagram here on Instagram as well, called Warp Sound. So if you look at warpsound.ai, or is it underscore Warp Sound AI, you'll find the info, and it's really just starting. It's just that it's the beginning stages and we're still like building stuff. But the idea that like we can create virtual musicians that can make music in real time, like as you're listening to it, just a few moments before the AI created that music. It's almost like it makes it you hear it. It makes it you hear it.
Yeah.
And on Twitch, when you watch it, you actually can, in the chat, you can vote using different like little combinations of commands. You can vote for how the AI should change the track. And there's 3 different characters right now, and all 3 of them have a different musical personality. So one of them is kind of like lo-fi beats. One of them's like hardcore trap, heavy, distorted stuff. The other one, I guess Narhart is a little more like dance. But yeah, there's 3 of them. There's a girl named Naomi, a dragon named DJ Dragoon, and a little bunny named Narhart.
That's awesome.
Super fun though. I mean, like stuff
Yeah.
like that is like you can come up with really weird ideas and throw them at the wall and see if it actually works. And in the long run, you know, I think fast forward to a year from now, I think you're going to see something that's pretty advanced that has the capability of doing things that humans can't do.
Sure.
Now that should be really fun.
Music has gotten so crazy with the advent of technology. Just floors me every day.
Yeah, I mean, you should check it out. Check out the Twitch channel. It'll go live. They've been going live like once a week. I think you can watch it back if you look up Warp Sound on Twitch.
That's awesome. Well, Mike, I won't take up a whole lot of your time, but thank you so much for hanging out with us. Once again, Happy Endings, a single available wherever you get your singles. Iann Dior and UPSAHL on the record, Warner Brothers Records. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support on the song, and thanks to everybody who's watching from God, like all over the world. You guys are in the chat representing, throwing up your flags. We appreciate you. Thank you.
That's amazing. Yeah, thanks everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. I've been Tom Butler. That's Mike Shinoda, and we will both see you later.
All right, guys. Thanks.
All right,
Bye.
Thanks.